Okay, Facebook, here we go. Let's talk about Senate Bill 420, excuse me, House Bill 425 and House Bill 421. Now, I'm going to let you see my screen here so that you see what's going on. So again, to get to this screen, all you have to do, if you look up here at the top where I'm highlighting, is just go to this lis.virginia.gov page. Okay, and every bill that's been pre-filed is right here. So let's go down here to 425. All right, now here's basically what 425 says. Is that any transaction where there's more than 2 firearms sold has to be reported to the state police. Now, here's how it works in the gun shop. The first thing that you have to do when somebody purchases 2 or more pistols is we have to fill out a multi-handgun form, and we have to send that to the ATF. It goes to the ATF Tracing Center, and we also have to send a copy of it to the state police. And that is for pistols under, then when you're basically selling more than 2 at a time or more than 2 within a 7-day period. So if you come into the gun shop and you buy 2 pistols, we have to send that report to the ATF. If you come into the gun shop and you buy a pistol today and you buy a pistol 4 days from now, we have to fill out that same form. If you come in and you purchase a pistol today and then you purchase a pistol next month, we don't have to fill out that form. So basically, if you are selling if you're basically selling 2 pistols in one transaction or within a 7-day period, you have to notify the ATF, and the state police get that notice as well. All right. Well, what 425 is saying is that it's going to be for any firearm transaction. So instead of just pistols, if you come in and you purchase 2 rifles, if you buy 2 .22 rifles, we would have to report that to the state police at the gun shop. And that's what 425 basically says. It's changing the transaction requirement of being a handgun to any firearm. So that's what 425 says. All right, now 421, that's a more interesting conversation, and this is why I have the screen up. So as you may know, in Virginia Beach, there is a bill, or there's a hearing that's going to be on for Monday in support of the Second Amendment sanctuary. Well, there's also a hearing on Tuesday where the city council, members of city council, are in support of 421. Okay, now why this is basically a cluster is 421 gives localities to decide whether or not to adopt or enforce any ordinance that would limit firearms in their locality. Basically, lets the state government is giving the authority to the locals to make their own rules. Now, the problem with 421 is this: is that if you are, let's say that you're a contractor, right, and you have a handgun on you in a concealed handgun, and you go to different cities to their zoning and permits departments to get your permits, and you go to all these jurisdictions. One jurisdiction may have this rule, one jurisdiction may have that rule, and it will become a total nightmare if we allow the localities to make these decisions. It will be, you won't know what the rules are, the uniform rules are in these jurisdictions. Now, if we go over here and we look at an earlier bill that was filed, which is Senate Bill, I believe, 15. Let's get down to it. As you can see, there's a lot. Got to get through all the House bills before you get to the Senate bills. All right, here we go. All right, so this is the first bill that came out about this, and it would basically make it illegal to bring a firearm into any building that is owned or operated by the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I made a video about this, and I mean, this would make a soccer mom a criminal if she happens to have her concealed carry firearm in her purse and she walks into the DMV to get her license renewed. And so it is important to understand that Senate Bill 15, it basically would make it illegal across the state to go into a state building. So a state building would be like a DMV. Um, and then House Bill 421 deals with localities making their own rules. And so basically, it is going to be very difficult to know if House Bill 421 passes what the rules are in Virginia Beach compared to what the rules are in Hampton, compared to what the rules are in Chesapeake, unless you spend a lot of time going through that. Now, I was with Councilman Moss this morning at a breakfast, and he spoke about this. And one thing that he said is that the state should just make the rule. It shouldn't be up to the locality of where where firearms can be brought and where they can't brought. It should be a uniform rule. And he's not speaking as a Second Amendment guy. He's just speaking as a city government official, that the city shouldn't have this authority to just arbitrarily make a rule of what can and cannot be done. It should be the state that makes a uniform rule about that. And of course, I'm not in support of any rule about that, but that's what that is. So the VCDL published these two bills. They're not that emergency 911 kind of a thing, but they're pointing out that these are more restrictions that are coming down. And now that you see the differences between 421 and Senate Bill 15, hopefully that makes more sense. Senate Bill 15 would deal with the state buildings, and 421 would deal just with the localities. Okay, so that's that. We're getting another video coming up here in just a second.